What if heaven was not a single place above the clouds, but a vertical world of 7 realms, each with its own purpose, inhabitants, and mysteries, a cosmic house built layer by layer? The Ethiopian Bible, preserved in Guizi and guarded for centuries by the Orthodox Tewahedo Church, hands us exactly this map, the 7 heavens. In the pages of 1 Enoch and allied Gizi texts, Enoch is lifted through levels where creation's storehouses wait, where fallen beings are bound, where paradise and liturgy glow, and finally where the throne of God burns with unapproachable light. This is not mere imagination. It is a canonical vision of cosmos and justice, preserved in Ethiopia and attested by ancient fragments found among the Dead Sea Scrolls, a spiritual architecture that demands we rethink what above truly means. But before continuing, please subscribe to my channel. It is a big deal to me, but a matter of a single click to you. Enoch's ascent begins in the first heaven, not a paradise, but a functional vault where creation's raw elements are kept until their appointed time. The Ethiopian texts expand Genesis' brief firmament into an orderly repository, chambers where winds are cupped, where snow and hail are sealed, and where the seeds of the seasons lie in wait. This is a working heaven, a divine larder that sustains the cycles of earth. It is where the mechanics of weather and the movements of lesser lights are prepared before being released to our world. In the Ethiopian vision, the cosmos is not a clock that runs itself. It is a carefully tended storehouse, tended by angelic stewards. Here we learn that weather and stars are entrusted goods, not random accidents. The Ethiopian account stresses that each element, the eastern wind, the wayward meteor, the late spring rain, originates in these storehouses and is dispatched by appointed angels. Enoch watches as sealed chambers open and close according to the sovereign timetable. The image is deeply comforting to agrarian eyes. God's provision is stored and given in measure and mercy, and the heavens themselves participate in divine economy. For communities that read the heavens for sowing and harvest, the first heaven is theological and practical. It assures that droughts and rains, the timing of harvests, and the rhythm of planting are not left to caprice. Ethiopian homilies draw on this scene to say that God preserves the means of life in order that his people might flourish. Enoch's vision becomes a sacred explanation for the dependable cycles that sustain agrarian life, a heavenly store for earthly sustenance. Finally, the first heaven prepares us for the layered cosmos to come. It is the foundation, the operational ground floor of the heavens, establishing the pattern of order, stewardship, and timing that repeats in loftier realms. In Enoch's narrative, it is a necessary prologue. If the first layer stores the elements, the next layers will expose moral realities, liturgical spaces, and ultimately the throne where all those stores and judgments converge. The first heaven teaches a simple lesson. God's care for creation is meticulous, embodied, and accessible to the one who ascends in faith. Watch the video till the end. The next part will astonish you. When Enoch is lifted beyond the storehouses of the first heaven, he enters the second, and here the light dims. What he sees is not order, but confinement. The second heaven is a prison, a vast abyss where rebellious angels are bound in chains of fire. These are the watchers who abandoned their posts, descended to earth, and corrupted humankind with forbidden knowledge. Their punishment is eternal waiting. They are restrained here until the great day of judgment. This realm is a sobering contrast to the providential storehouses below, a heaven not of blessings, but of justice. This is the fate of the watchers described in Enoch, mighty beings who should have guarded creation, yet betrayed it. They gave humankind forbidden arts, enchantments, weapons, and knowledge that led to violence. Their punishment, sealed in the second heaven, is testimony that even the mighty cannot escape God's justice. The Ethiopian tradition connects their rebellion with the Great Flood, a divine act that purged the earth of their corruption. In this heaven, Enoch learns that disobedience has cosmic consequences. For Ethiopians reading this vision, the second heaven is not only a warning but also reassurance. It declares that evil is restrained. The rebellious are not free to wander endlessly. They are held under guard. In homilies, The chains of the fallen angels are compared to the cross, which restrains and defeats the powers of darkness. Here, heaven becomes a courtroom where sentence has already been passed, and where God's justice is seen in action. Thus, the second heaven stands as a place of accountability. It is a reminder that disobedience warps even celestial beings, and that no creature is beyond judgment. Enoch's glimpse of the chained watchers reveals the balance of heaven. Mercy sustains creation in the first heaven, but justice reigns in the second. For us, it calls to humility, for if angels can fall, how much more must humanity guard its ways? But before continuing, please subscribe to my channel. It is a big deal to me, but a matter of a single click to you. Emerging from the shadowed prison of the second heaven, Enoch ascends into a realm of resplendent beauty, the third heaven. Here lies the garden of righteousness, a paradise reserved for the faithful and the souls who walk in obedience. Rivers of living water flow past golden trees, whose fruits radiate healing and knowledge. In Ethiopian tradition, this heaven is not merely symbolic. It embodies the reward of virtue, a tangible reflection of divine harmony where every fragrance, sound, and ray of light honors God. It is a place of peace and restoration, contrasting starkly with the confinement below. In this heaven, Enoch witnesses the harmony of creation restored. Animals of every kind coexist without fear, and birds sing songs of eternal praise. The Garden of Righteousness is described in Ethiopian homilies as the prototype of Eden renewed, a heaven where the consequences of earthly virtue are displayed. Angels guide the souls of the faithful to their appointed places, teaching them divine mysteries. The third heaven, then, is a classroom of joy. Knowledge and morality converge, showing that obedience to God opens the way to serenity and enlightenment. The third heaven also emphasizes spiritual nourishment. The fruits and waters symbolize eternal wisdom and the life-giving power of God's law. Ethiopian liturgical texts often connect this realm with prayer and meditation, suggesting that heaven is mirrored on earth when believers live in righteousness. Here, Enoch sees that paradise is not passive. It requires attunement to God's will and active participation in divine harmony. The righteous are not idle observers, but co-creators in a realm of perfection. Finally, the third heaven sets the stage for celestial order above. It is a realm of reward and reflection, a space where moral choices manifest visibly, and the soul experiences restoration and delight. Enoch's passage here reminds us that heaven contains not only justice and providence, but also the beauty of peace earned through faithfulness. It is a luminous pause before the lights of the fourth heaven illuminate the mechanisms of the cosmos itself. Watch the video till the end. The next part will astonish you. Beyond the verdant paradise of the third heaven, Enoch enters the fourth heaven, a realm dominated by light and movement. Here, the sun, moon, and stars are stationed and governed with divine precision. Ethiopian tradition describes this heaven as a cosmic control room. The angels here adjust the courses of celestial bodies, set the boundaries of night and day, and regulate eclipses, seasons, and constellations. Enoch witnesses a choreography of heavenly mechanics, each movement orchestrated to maintain balance on earth below. This is the realm where light itself is ministered and where the rhythms of creation are fine-tuned. The fourth heaven is also the theater of time. Ethiopian writings emphasize that this layer governs day and night, the moon's phases, and the seasons, all tied to God's covenant with creation. Angels act as cosmic stewards, ensuring that harvests, tides, and celestial signs follow divine law. Enoch sees that the heavens are neither chaotic nor random. Every light has purpose, every orbit reflects God's order. Here, heaven becomes a clockwork of divinely appointed precision, revealing to the observer that God's providence extends beyond earthly care into the very fabric of the cosmos. In this heaven, Enoch also sees the hierarchy of cosmic order. Lesser angels manage comets, meteors, and auroras, while higher angels oversee planetary orbits and solar radiance. Ethiopian texts describe their labor as worship. The act of maintaining order is itself praise, a reminder that service and devotion often manifest in work. The fourth heaven bridges the material and spiritual, showing that God's artistry is both visible and invisible, tangible in the cycles we observe and transcendent in the celestial mechanics beyond human perception. Finally, the fourth heaven teaches that divine order is inseparable from beauty. The movements of light and celestial bodies are not only functional but awe-inspiring, a visual liturgy of God's wisdom. Enoch observes that each star sings its own note, contributing to a symphony of harmony that resonates across the heavens. This realm prepares the soul for the higher heavens, where praise, governance, and the divine throne manifest more fully. The fourth heaven reassures the faithful. God's plan is precise, radiant, and orderly, extending from the smallest spark to the largest sun. But before continuing, please subscribe to my channel. It is a big deal to me, but a matter of a single click to you. Ascending beyond the fourth heaven's ordered light, Enoch enters the fifth heaven, a realm alive with music. Here, angels gather in choirs that never cease their praises, their voices harmonizing with the cosmic rhythms of the sun, moon, and stars below. Ethiopian texts describe this heaven as a sanctuary of sound. Each angel contributes a unique timbre, creating a symphony that is both prayer and proclamation. The fifth heaven reveals that worship is a central function of the celestial order, a living testament that praise flows as naturally as the rivers in the third heaven or the orbits in the fourth. In the fifth heaven, Enoch observes the hierarchy of praise. Some angels are leaders, conducting waves of sound. Others are messengers, their songs carrying prayers from the earthly faithful upward. Ethiopian tradition highlights that the music of heaven has transformative power. It sanctifies, heals, and aligns all creation with God's will. Each note reinforces the structure of the cosmos, linking the joyful obedience of celestial beings with the provision and justice observed in the lower heavens. Praise here is both duty and delight, showing the intimate bond between worship and cosmic governance. The fifth heaven is not merely auditory splendor, it embodies spiritual edification. Each song reveals truths about God's character, His mercy, justice, and majesty, and Enoch realizes that heaven's music is a vehicle for understanding divine mysteries. Ethiopian homilies often liken this realm to liturgical chanting, where sound itself becomes a bridge between the human and divine. Here, music transcends performance. It is the language of eternity, guiding souls in devotion and connecting layered heavens through resonance and light. Finally, the fifth heaven emphasizes devotion as cosmic necessity. Enoch sees that worship is not passive. It actively shapes creation, sustains order, and channels divine energy. This realm prepares him for the sixth heaven, where governance and authority are revealed in full. The fifth heaven teaches that praise and duty are inseparable, and that in the celestial hierarchy, love, obedience, and song form the connective tissue of the heavens. Music here is a living, dynamic expression of God's glory, forever ascending yet rooted in the purpose of creation. Watch the video till the end. The next part will astonish you. Beyond the fifth heaven's ceaseless music, Enoch is lifted into the sixth heaven, a realm of authority and governance. Here, angelic rulers sit on thrones of blazing light, administering divine decrees over nations, peoples, and cosmic functions. Ethiopian texts describe this heaven as the center of heavenly administration, where God's providential order is made manifest in judgments, protections, and blessings. Each throne is unique, symbolizing a specific domain. One governs the rivers and mountains of earth, another the winds and seas, and yet another the laws that govern angels themselves. Enoch sees the power and precision of divine administration laid bare. The sixth heaven is also a realm of governance and moral oversight. Ethiopian tradition emphasizes that angels here execute God's justice and mercy, ensuring that creation is protected and that divine laws are enforced. Enoch sees records of human deeds kept and weighted, their consequences mapped in celestial archives. Here, heaven becomes both palace and court. The thrones symbolize power administered with righteousness, a reassurance that cosmic order encompasses not only the material universe, but the moral fabric of humanity. In this heaven, Enoch also sees hierarchy and delegation at work. Lesser angels serve as governors of natural phenomena and human affairs, while higher angels oversee planetary and stellar systems. Ethiopian texts depict the sixth heaven as a training ground for obedience and leadership. Angels must administer God's will faithfully, without error or pride. Enoch learns that authority in heaven is inseparable from service. Power is exercised with devotion, and governance becomes a form of worship. The sixth heaven bridges the realms of order, justice, and praise, preparing the soul for the final vision of God's throne. Finally, the sixth heaven impresses upon Enoch the profound link between authority and humility. These angelic governors, though immensely powerful, act entirely under God's command, their thrones symbols of delegated responsibility rather than independent ambition. Ethiopian tradition sees this heaven as a lesson for humanity. True power serves others and aligns with divine will. As Enoch gazes toward the seventh heaven above, he understands that all authority, all governance, and all praise converge ultimately on the throne of God, where perfection, light, and justice are inseparable. But before continuing, please subscribe to my channel. It is a big deal to me, but a matter of a single click to you. At last, Enoch ascends into the seventh heaven, the pinnacle of the celestial hierarchy, the throne of God. Here, light is unapproachable, pure, and radiant, illuminating all creation below with indescribable brilliance. Ethiopian texts describe the throne as immense, encrusted with precious stones, and surrounded by multitudes of angels, each radiating awe and worship. This is the culmination of all heavens, where providence, justice, reward, governance, and praise converge into a single, perfect presence. Enoch realizes that the layered heavens exist to prepare the soul for this encounter with ultimate holiness. The seventh heaven embodies absolute authority and sanctity. Ethiopian tradition emphasizes that no creature can fully comprehend the glory of God's presence. Even angels shield their faces in reverence. Yet, Enoch is granted vision and understanding. He sees that all divine decrees, all celestial order, all praise and justice stem from this single source. The layered heavens are reflections, preparations, and extensions of God's sovereignty. In this realm, the infinite and the finite meet, revealing that creation itself is a mirror of divine perfection. In the seventh heaven, worship and obedience reach their ultimate expression. Angels, archangels, and heavenly beings continually bow and sing praises, creating a symphony that sustains the very light of the throne. Ethiopian texts teach that this heaven is a place of revelation. Here, divine mysteries are fully visible, and the interconnectedness of all creation is made manifest. Enoch learns that heaven is not only a reward or a prison, not only a storehouse or choir, but ultimately a testament to the glory, wisdom, and holiness of God. Finally, the seventh heaven teaches that all of creation is ultimately oriented toward God. The previous six heavens, storehouses, prisons, paradise, celestial order, choirs, and thrones, each point to this apex of holiness. Enoch's journey concludes with the recognition that God's throne is the source, the center, and the destination of all cosmic life. Ethiopian tradition emphasizes that the faithful, guided by obedience, prayer, and devotion, share in this ascent in spirit, participating in the harmony and glory of the seventh heaven even from earth. As Enoch's journey concludes, we can see the full tapestry of the seven heavens unfold. The first heaven safeguards creation's storehouses, while the second confines the fallen watchers. The third heaven blooms as a paradise for the righteous, and the fourth heaven orchestrates the movements of sun, moon, and stars. The fifth heaven resonates with the ceaseless praises of angelic choirs, and the sixth heaven governs cosmic order through thrones of power and angelic administrators. Finally, the seventh heaven stands as the radiant throne of God, the ultimate source of authority, holiness, and glory. Each layer, distinct yet interconnected, reveals a cosmos alive with divine purpose, justice, and beauty. The vision of the seven heavens invites reflection. Which layer fascinates you most? The meticulous providence of the first heaven, the sobering justice of the second, the verdant paradise of the third, the cosmic rhythm of the fourth, the resounding choirs of the fifth, the mighty governance of the sixth, or the overwhelming glory of the seventh? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this journey through the Ethiopian Bible stirred your awe, leave a comment, share this video, and subscribe for more untold stories that illuminate the cosmos as seen through sacred Gwizi texts. Let the seven heavens continue to inspire wonder, devotion, and curiosity in every heart.